What is up there, guys? Today we're doing an audit for aerial and satellite installation, a local company in the UK. So I'm here with Clive, who's the owner, and what we're going to be doing is looking at the things we can do to improve our local SEO. We're going to start with the usual screaming frog. And feel free, Clive, to chime in at any point with any thoughts, opinions, or questions. But we are live. So while Screaming Frog launches, we're going to start looking at the on page for the homepage. Now, first of all, Clive, in every homepage situation, if there's going to be like a big preview like this, I do see the call to action here, but I think it might be better if it was here because you can kind of see how this looks almost like it blends in. So we want it to be really clear what's going on. So I think the best thing we could do just to start out with our first recommendation is to put a big call to action right here. Call now, book an appointment, whatever. So I'm just going to put that in there. Whoops. All right, so the next thing, just from looking at the page, we're not doing any internal linking. And pretty simple how you look at it, you just put 2 to 3 internal links going to the other important pages on the homepage.
Right.
So it could go to About Us, it could go to one of your other services, it could go to the contact. But ideally we want to have 2 to 3 internal links. So start working on internal linking structure for a website. Let's look at the actual HTML elements. So the title, we got 65 characters, and it's got your main keywords to the left, which is great. Hopefully this isn't actually oversaturated by mentioning the same keywords twice in a way. So let me just go ahead and make sure that that's not happening. Looks good. Sometimes if you mention it too much, Google will take it as over optimizations and then change your title tags.
Right, okay.
Meta description's too short, so we want to be up to 155 per meta. So we need to lengthen metas so that they hit at least 155 characters. No meta keywords, that's good. We got 3 H1s, so we only want 1 per page.
Right, okay.
And then of course you can just put those in H2s or H3s.
Yeah.
No bold or italics. I would say you just probably want to bold and italicize like 2 to 3 words that you're hitting on.
So you just want to bold and italicize the keywords you're actually going for?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go crazy, but just by bold and italicizing like 2 to 3 relevant words can be helpful.
Right.
The alt text looks good. The load time looks good. We're just going to still plug it in there. The page authority is 19 and the domain authority is 3, so we definitely want to do some authority building.
Right, okay.
And generally that happens through content marketing.
Right.
And then also doing the internal linking. For some reason, Moz is picking up a spam score, so let's look at that. Large site with few links, site diversity is low, no contact info.
Right.
So that's the other thing is you want your NAP in the footer.
Yeah.
And then also hours. So the next thing is the schema and the OG data. So we got website markup, but we need to put local business markup on the homepage.
Okay.
And then the OG data, you can see if anybody sees this on social, it's just a blank image, so we want to fix that.
Right. So the local business markup should be added to the homepage. In what way do you mean local business markup?
So, depending on what industry you're in, which looks like tech almost, you can put specific markup to explain to Google that you're a local business that does like that services a certain type of category,
right?
With schema. Now, it's not too difficult to do, but you do want to be doing certain things like making sure you're including your hours, making sure that you're including your geolocation. I could actually get the schema written up for you, and then you would just put it in the heading of the site, just on the home page. So you're using WordPress, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we would just use something called OH headers. It's a plugin, and you can just put in a schema markup for like one individual page for the header. You don't really have to know how it works, but it's not too hard to set up if you know what you're doing. So the next thing is that if we look at the actual keyword cloud, which kind of shows almost the keyword density, so we'll use something like SEO Centro. This is a free SEO checker just to check like a little bit more in depth. And then if we wanted to get even crazier, we could start using something like SEO Profiler. That's really good at checking over optimizations. But generally you don't have to do that unless it really looks like you're over optimizing, which right now if we just type in Arial, doesn't look too bad. Also, this link right here, it's on every page, and technically you don't really want this to be a follow link, so you'd want to add a no follow. Otherwise you're sending follow links on every single web page. Sorry, there's like crazy construction going on in the background.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is awful.
Sounds like a wind tunnel.
Okay, well I'm gonna still try to talk. Hopefully I can. So this is bad for them too, because if they have like hundreds of links pointing to their site and they're all follow links, that can actually give them a penalty. So set no follow links in footer for the web design company. I love how this just happens right when we get on the stream.
Someone's using hammer drill.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. So if we go to this page, you don't want to worry about this because their SEO checker is like outdated. But for the H tags, like you can see, it's already picking up the H1s or multiple. But what we really want to look at is the keywords.
Right.
So you can see this keyword's showing up a good amount in the keyword cloud. But just the city itself isn't really showing up that much. So if we just type in this.
Right.
So basically what that means is that we want to be a little bit more unique to the area. Actually, you know what? 4 times isn't too, or 5 times isn't that bad. But on every homepage, like, you want to basically explain the area as much as possible. So like what I do with my sites, like I was able to rank this site right here for Maryland, and I'm not even close to that area. And it's because I figured out that if you mention a lot of stuff about the area with pictures of the area, Google will actually look at that and use that to understand where you're at, and so you can rank a lot better for your area. So
it just sort of just gives Google a better idea of exactly where everything is, and right, okay, it does it here, so we'll place them here.
Exactly, and if you look at all the sites that are ranking really well, they talk a lot about their area. So I would just go to like Wikipedia and find some information about your area, and then you can see like this. I actually talk about where this is, what we provide, where we're next to, and then pictures of the area. So spend a little bit of time optimizing your content for any location page,
more relevant, areas.
To include more information about that area. Can use Wikipedia, as long as you're not directly pulling, like copying and pasting. But you
Yeah.
can see this is actually some text that's really similar to Wikipedia's that I found on Maryland. And you're just going to want to do this on all of your location pages. So if you create another location, like say here, and there's like a different location like close to this, you can do the same thing and end up getting tons of locations ranking, which is what I wound up doing with that this site right here. Well, you saw it a second ago. And I was actually able to rank for like tons of locations everywhere, but just by using that technique. I'm so sorry, man. This is awful.
It's alright, it's fine. Someone's banging a drum here.
So I don't know if you're optimizing the images, but if you can, I would use a plugin that automatically compresses them all.
Right. Smasher.
Yeah, it's just a pretty cool plugin that'll do it for you. And then you can use like minification, also browser caching if you wanted to.
Yeah, I was using WP Cache, just to speed up the site.
Yeah, then you're probably fine. I mean, this site's not too slow. It's just like a couple things you could do. Whoop! What the heck? Just zoomed me out. I'm not sure what's going on. What the heck? I can't do anything. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I knew it was.
Some sort of Mac shortcut.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go back over here. So yeah, other than that, the homepage looks pretty good. Let's start seeing what's being indexed. So we'll go to site : whoops. Name of site. And you can see there's only 19 pages being indexed, which is fine. One of the things like the testimonials, this should have review markup, because then you're actually showing Google that these are reviews, and then you get stars underneath them. And this is actually a page that doesn't have any testimonials, so I would add, and you can just copy and paste reviews from Google to the testimonials page, and add review markup. And then you can use markup from. I already have all this templatized, so I have like. If you plug this into the structured data testing tool, you can just copy the reviews or the markup and then change it to your own markup.
Yeah.
Or I can do it for you, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
The other thing is that you can actually do a markup on the about page and the contact page. So I would do contact page and about page. And then the other thing is that these service pages, I would spend some time figuring out if there's any more pages that you can build out, and then also do previews on the main page. So on main services page, the layout should look like a brief overview of these different things. So these would all be heading tags, and then just like brief overviews of what they are, and then of course you have the actual services. So do brief overviews of all services offered, and then on the service pages you can actually take the reviews. So say you go into here and you go to digital aerials, and then for instance if you go into your actual business location, and then people have been leaving reviews about like that specific thing, you can put those testimonials in there as well, and
link to,
and then do the review markup and start getting ratings underneath your different things. So if somebody types in that specific service, so like digital aerials installation, assuming this has a search rate, installation, whoops, I can't spell, but I can do SEO. Installation, not reviews, services. And I should be using the UK search engine, but I'm just giving an example. So like all of these people, like right here, if they had some testimonials in there, which also improve your conversion rates, they'd actually have star ratings underneath this, which will help not only rank you higher.
Where?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Where can I get the star ratings from? How do the stars actually show up? That's what I've never understood.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if you do the review markup, so like if you type in like Chase Renner reviews, I did the review markup. You can see it's right there.
Yeah. So if you do the review markup, and where do you get the stars from? Where did the stars get? Where did they get pulled from?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is if you just use the schema code for it. So like if we went into structured data testing tool, like this. In the headings of that page with that OH plugin I was telling you about, you can put the JSON LD, and I just made it as like a product, and it's for SEO services. You can see this is the actual markup you put in there, and then Google basically just crawls that and then puts that into the page if they trust that that's actually legit. The only problem is if you don't have the reviews, you don't want to put them in there. So like if you have 43 reviews showing on the page, but you put like 60 as the review count, that's going to be putting 60 reviews here, but then they get to the page, there's only 42 or 43. Google actually can give you a manual penalty for that. So you want to be really careful with what you're doing.
Yeah, because you're not being truthful.
Yeah, because there's some people who will actually put in like 5,000 reviews. And then they get a manual penalty and they're like, what just happened to me?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then also on all these service pages, on all service pages, I would put one image. And then on the top on most service pages as well, I would put a CTA, because all of these are going to be landing pages. So like for instance, if you're going in here and these don't really have searches, not a big deal. But if they do have searches, you want to treat them as landing pages because people are going to be hitting those when they go to your site. So like a great way to find out what you could actually start building out is just to put in your domain like this on Ahrefs. And if you don't have an Ahrefs account, we can do this for you. You just go to Content Gap and you start pulling like your other competitors. So like if we went to what was the main keyword? Digital.
The main keywords when we were running the AdWords and stuff and everything as well, it was like aerial repairs Edinburgh and digital aerial repairs Edinburgh and aerial men near me, or it's sort of aerial repair, or aerial companies near me.
Yeah. So like what you could do is you could just take like the people who you're competing with, and you can put in the things that they're ranking for that you're not ranking for, and then you can start building out the different landing pages for that. And you can see all of these have like different search rates, and that's how you know what to build your service pages under. So that's pretty easy to do. You just have to do the content, which if you don't want to do it, you can outsource it. So I would do some competitive analysis on what competitors are ranking for and build out service pages related to that.
Right.
And then the other thing you can actually do is like, so if you see this guy, he's ranking for the city that we're in, but if you type in also something like Goleta, which is a city next to it, he of course has another landing page for that, which he's also ranking for. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so one of the things that happens is if you have enough authority on the homepage, it won't rank, but there it is right here. So he'll just create another service page or another landing page for the different locations, and then boom, there it is. So you would also want to build out related city pages for landing pages that people will want to find you for.
So the different towns, like to Musselburgh, Dalkeith, that sort of thing, all the sort of sub-towns, that are in my areas, just build the pages and then relevant to them.
Right, yeah, and then you would just do internal linking from your main locations page. The other thing with that too is that with all of these location pages, you get the relevance of being at that location. So now that he has that page built out, you actually get more chances of being listed on the map. He's actually not being listed on the map because this page probably isn't that relevant. It's pretty thin content actually. He could have built it out better.
Right.
But that's how you can start sending more signals that you're in these different areas and ranking on Google locally as well.
Right.
Okay, so service pages, location pages. So those would just go under this, and then the same thing with the locations, like the services. You would just do a brief overview of the different locations that you have. So I did this on my own personal sites because, like I said, I used to try to offer like worldwide computer repair. and then you'll see like on this page I actually took it off, but I think if you go to like locations, I actually in a lot of these sub pages actually rank for the main location as well. Now this is a doorway page, you don't want to do this, but like ideally this is kind of how you would structure it with your different locations, and then underneath this you would actually have text explaining about like the different areas and stuff. So
pretty straightforward once you know the sort of the actual blueprint. Once you know the blueprint of how everything's working, it's quite self-explanatory. But as it says, it's gathering the data to get the blueprint. It takes time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's really just content mapping, like keyword mapping, and figuring out what you actually need to build out. But it starts becoming pretty templatized once you you know what you're doing. And there's different things you can do. Like there's different ways you can do it. Like for instance, the homepage could be targeting like the actual state, and then the location pages could be targeting like the actual specific locations, which is what some people do. Like these people, they just create sub pages for their moving company, and then they end up just ranking a bunch of city pages. And you can see they're also using the aggregate rating right there to rank these sub pages. So they have really high click-throughs. But in your case, the best way to do it would be to have the homepage be about the main area, and then the other service pages being about, which is more of the technique around the what this guy's doing. You just have to figure out like if you're going to be targeting just a county, like just the county, like the city, and then like the related cities, that's how you want to do it because you get the most relevance that way. But if you're looking to expand like more of like other cities inside of a state, then you would want to make the homepage targeting the state.
Right.
But like I said, it's really up to you. And any time you can re-optimize this stuff as well. It's just the only problem is that if you get tons of internal anchor text pointing to certain pages, what will end up happening is you can literally just rank pages without having any keywords related to it. So like this SEO Santa Barbara page, there's so much internal anchor text going to this homepage that Google thinks that it's ranking for SEO when it has nothing to do with it anymore.
All right. Okay.
So that's why internal linking is so powerful, and a lot of people underestimate it. But you can actually tell Google by having tons of internal links going back to your homepage what that page is about without even having anything about it on that page. Okay, so, and that's the other reason why it's so important to build out all of these other subpages, because then you get the chance to do all of the internal linking back to the homepage and the main pages, which just improves the relevance and then shows Google that you have 300 internal links with anchor text saying that that's what that page is about.
Yeah, you're just creating a good content map, so Google could say, right, okay.
Yeah. Contact page could be built out a little bit more. Like I said, you could literally just use this guy as an example because he does pretty much everything like correct how you'd want to do it. So you would still put your information, a little bit of text kind of explaining, and then of course your link silos going back to the home page, which that's not happening right now. But some of these pages aren't as important to be doing this stuff. And then of course you'd want to start at some point, like month 2 or 3, looking at the bounce rates and the click-through rates and whatnot on these pages and seeing what you can do to improve the conversions. But right now, I mean, month 1, you don't really want to spend too much time doing that stuff because you're not really looking at more of the technical things as much as just getting the basics dialed in. Which leads me to the Screaming Frog crawl. So I actually forgot to start crawling. Let me just go in here. One of the other big things for this is setting up the online and offline conversion tracking, because then you can really start seeing, where you're getting your different conversions from, and then we can start scaling out the marketing strategy on like more of an omni-channel marketing strategy, targeting like other sources of traffic. So set up online and offline conversion tracking, as well as rank tracking. Some other things that you're probably going to want to do is start plugging your competitors into like backlink analysis tools.
Right. And just see where they're getting their authority links from as well.
Yeah, and then you want to be careful with that. You don't want to grab too many things that are like just everything that they're getting links for. But like if you see things that they're high quality links, you want to go out and get those. Also, you want to spend a little bit of time going through different pages that are like 301 or 404. So like say there's people linking to you and there's like broken links. It doesn't look like there is any right now. But you just want to make sure that if somebody is linking to you, that it's linking to the correct page, and that if you are doing a 301, it's actually pointing back to the right page you want it to 301 to.
Okay. Yeah, I found we had a company, that done another site for us, and they say they provide loads of backlinks, but I think they only expired. I think it was Black Hat stuff. I think they just expired, and then they got de-indexed after that,
Right. Yeah. That's the thing too. Is if you have like shady links pointing to you, you definitely want to make sure you disavow those.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next things that we're going to look at are just like the overall site health problems, like the HTTP. So we want to make sure we switch that to SSL. And there's over half of the domains on the internet now have switched over to HTML at this point, so we really want to make sure we do that.
Right, okay, so you just want to be compliant.
Yeah. The titles don't look too bad. Whoops. We got a couple missing meta descriptions that we want to fill in. Glad I saved that because I almost clicked cancel, and I guess I canceled out of it, so that would have been a real bummer. Oh, you're taking notes too. Okay, good. All right, we have backup. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, fill out the missing meta descriptions.
Oh, my screen's frozen.
There's only a couple images with missing alt text. Using canonicals, which is good. Let's also check what you're doing with the robots.txt file. Just make sure you're not disallowing things that should be disallowed. Why is there a crawl delay?
Don't know.
That's really weird. I would take out crawl delay because you don't want to have a.
How can I take that out?
You just go in the robots.txt file. It should be in the server.
Okay.
I've never even seen that. You don't really want to have your crawls being delayed by Google.
No.
Let's check out the sitemap. And then, of course, once we get Search Console set up, we really want to submit the sitemap because then Google can crawl this stuff easier. You don't need to, but it's definitely important. And then this is the page we would do the conversion tracking on.
Yeah, the thank you, just so it notifies.
And you can even put something here, like say the thank you redirects them to a thank you page. You can put like a video there or something and get like a little extra mileage.
Right.
Yeah, could put a call to action on thank you page. Going to like a Facebook, like us on Facebook, and then have a little like button or whatever you want to do. There's always the extra mileage that you can.
Yeah, you're gonna keep spinning the traffic all the time.
Yeah. Okay, Screaming Frog. So that's pretty much it for that. Let's go into what you're doing for local off-page stuff. So we're gonna go into White Spark. And I don't know if Moz Local. Did you say you set yourself up in Moz Local already?
No.
Okay. I don't know if Moz Local goes to the UK. We can check.
It does. I checked it. It does.
Okay, so if it does, then. Whoops. I don't know what just happened there. Is this you right here?
No, that's not.
Is that you?
That's us there. That's us there. Yeah.
So somebody's just using this to like do the exact match keyword targeting. Yeah. Yep, that happens. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go into here. First of all, you want to respond to your reviews because you don't actually get the ranking boost until you respond to them.
Right.
I'll get you the link right now. There's a link you can get that you can start texting to people or sending to people and generate reviews. That's how I was able to generate like 100 reviews on my location in like under a month. All you have to do is just go to tools, review.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering how to get reviews, quickly. Doing that, just from a client.
Yeah. So all the reviews, I mean, all the clients that we work with, like we're able to get them so many reviews. It's ridiculous because a lot of people struggle with that. So I'm hoping this is yeah, that's it right there. So you would just grab this right here. And the cool thing is this actually shows the URL stats. So if you're sending this to a bunch of people, it'll actually show you who's actually clicking on it and, where it's coming from, where you're getting your reviews.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, you would go like this, just give this URL to somebody, and literally you can text that to someone, and it'll show up with an automatic 5-star pop-up. And then you can just leave a rating. So you don't want to generate more than 2 to 3 reviews a day, because if you do, you start showing up as spam and you can get your listing removed. But it's really important. A lot of the people that I got reviews from, I have this way to do it that's not something that a lot of people do, which I funnel them into a Facebook group or I do a blog post, and then once I have their contact info, I just ask them to leave me a review based off like how knowledgeable the things are that they read or what they think of me, that kind of stuff. And that's how I'm able to streamline a lot of my reviews. If you don't want to do the content marketing, you can also just reach out to friends and stuff and ask them. Okay, so cancel out of here. We'll go into Moz Local. What's the postal code? Do you know?
EH21. 8 Hotel Golf.
Sorry, what?
8HG. 8 Hotel Golf.
Oh, G?
Yeah, it's EH21.
Oh. Am I getting this?
Echo Hotel. It's Echo Hotel 21.
EH.
No. It's Echo Hotel 21, and it's 8 Hotel Golf.
EH21.
EH21 8 Hotel Golf.
HG.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
Alright, I think it's that one.
Yeah.
So obviously here we want to get set up on all this.
Yep.
So I would, I'll just grab this link. Start having Moz push NAP on local indexing. And then also, I don't know if you've built out your citations yet, but we'll look at that in a second. One of the things that we do want to do is we hook up to Moz, but before that we push the main changes on the main platform. So like we do this for Google and Facebook and Yelp ourselves, and then Moz takes care of the rest because those are the ones that we can do really fast.
Right.
So optimize Google Plus, Facebook, and Yelp before Moz. And then we'll check out the citations. So we'll go into here, account. What up, everyone? Sorry, I'm not talking to you guys right now. We're pretty focused. Okay, so citation finder. We're gonna go to the UK. Whoops. Put in our key phrase. And that's going to take a second. So while that goes,
Right.
so we got 87 found. There's probably way more than this. And then you can see your top competitors are not really doing citations, and there you are.
Yeah.
So want to start building out citations.
What's a good citation score?
Usually you see people up in the 90s, really.
Right.
Let's go back to your Google My Business. So we'll grab this. We'll go to Google Plus. And then we're going to go to, it's not picking up pages for some reason. I hate it when this does this. Well, either way, we want to go into Google Plus or Google My Business and optimize with intro images with correct file URLs, and then ideally showing 3x photos of outside location, inside location, services, products, people, etc. And then also making sure that we are in the best correct category, as well as linking to the correct landing page on website. And then same thing goes with Facebook and Yelp.
Right, okay.
And then in the intro, you kind of want to mention the NAP, but whatever. Also, Google's starting to show posts from owners on the Google Plus, so we'd probably want to get set up with a $10 buffer subscription, which we can just start pushing our reviews out to people, out to social. So this is an easy way to do posts. You just take the reviews and then you just broadcast them across the different social networks, and that way you're updating it. But then also all the people who are seeing your posts is just like a bunch of reviews for your business.
Yeah, just constantly seeing you all the time. Just like the search and display network.
Right. The other one would be go into the AdWords campaign and see what keywords we're getting our conversions for, and that would correlate with the conversion tracking that we set up. And also see what we can do to improve quality score and ad rank, as well as other things like location extensions, and there's tons of stuff we can do.
Yeah.
Whoops. Exertions. It's actually funny, the last class I took, which I was failing miserably in before I started getting into SEO, was English.
Right. My English is terrible, honestly. The spelling is terrible as well.
Okay. So yeah, we could keep going. There's there's tons of things that we could keep doing. I don't know where we're at with time. I think we're at like 40 minutes. What this guy just said. But the other really big thing is just the topical seeding. So what that means is sending relevancy signals. For your main keywords and the LSI versions of them. And what that means is like there's semantically related keywords that Google picks up around your main keywords, and by building out an architecture covering those different semantically related keywords, you end up ranking your main keywords higher. So like Arial installers Edinburgh.
How do you find out your semantic?
Yeah, so that's like usually right here at the bottom.
Right.
But they also have tools that are, work better. So you could go to like LSI graph, and this will pull like a pretty good amount of LSI keywords that you wouldn't normally get just from the searches. And then these would all be like the topical seeded keywords that you could start using for your other landing pages, and then within your like internal linking and whatnot.
Right.
But that would also correlate with just the stuff we're talking about with the landing pages and the location. But really what it's about is making sure each of your pages are unique and not cannibalizing each other. And what that means is that if there's one page that's targeting the same keywords as another page, you just want to make sure that God, I can't spell anything. You just want to make sure that that's not happening, because even just by having similar content on these pages, which we're going to check out right now, you'll start getting your search results omitted, which means like Google filters them out, which is not good. And it also sends bad quality signals to Google. So the other thing that we want to look at is what you're actually putting on your website. So if we go to SiteLiner, this will show us any duplicate content that you might have on the site. And then also we'd go to Copyscape and see if there's anything that anybody else is using that's really similar to you, which would also probably dilute the value of your actual pages because it's being found in other places. So it doesn't look like there's too much, just like right here. So like on this page, these words match a lot of what's on this page.
Right.
So that's like one of those things that we'd probably want to filter out.
Filter. Yeah. Yeah, content's key, isn't it? Good content.
Yeah, not only good content, but like I said, unique content, because you want it to be really specific to that page, so that you don't have to get some like filtered or dilute the value on your main pages. And then on Copyscape, it doesn't look like anybody else is using your content, so that's good. So that's kind of the main stuff. Of course, like I said, there's going to be a lot more that comes up as you start going through this stuff, and this is only like month 1. So I've actually yeah, no, it's real. I've actually had somebody get another audit from me because they didn't want to pay for the services that I do, because it's for them, it was expensive. Which is fine, I don't care. At least they're able to get stuff done. But they came back to me afterwards for another audit. They're like, I want an audit for month 2 because I got a lot of this stuff done. And I wound up getting them like double or triple what they had before, because you start uncovering all this other stuff as you keep going. And month 1's actually usually the easiest month. And they're like, I feel like crying right now.
you generate customers, and then they come back, and then they obviously they go away not liking things.
Right, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's not a big deal for me, like, because, like, a lot of the times, like, he's actually signing up next month because he doesn't want to keep doing this stuff, which is fine. You know, it's like, at least you get to learn. That's the cool thing about the people I work with, is they because they follow me, they have so much, like, knowledge on how this stuff works, which actually makes them better clients, because a lot of the people that, you know, most SEOs get have no idea what they're doing, and so they don't understand the value and, like, how much effort goes into this stuff.
Yeah, it's knowing who to trust as well. You know, I mean, it's all very well, you know, someone coming to you and saying, you know, look, can you do this for me? But when you've actually got live streaming, and folk can actually see exactly how much content and how much work it takes to get inside, you know, to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, some people just don't appreciate, you know, the amount of work and leverage that goes into it.
That's why I don't even, honestly, Clive, I don't even sell this stuff, and, like, I don't even try to push it that much anymore. I just do the tutorials, and then, you know, it ends up working out, because a lot of the people, like I said, who understand it, they end up, you know, they're the ones who really, like, appreciate it. So anyways, so we're going to build out the top 10. The first thing that you're going to want to do is start building out the main pages. Well, actually, sorry. The first thing you want to do in every situation is set up Search Console and Analytics with conversion tracking.
Yeah.
And that's the online and offline I was telling you about. As well as rank tracking. The next thing you want to do is get the Moz stuff dialed in, so, like, the optimizations for the main local indexing sites. So and then push other changes through Moz. The next thing you want to do is get the get the Plepper link out to people. I would say, you know, maybe 10 people a day. And then, like I said, however you want to do it, you know, that's up to you. The next thing would be doing the basic on-site. So, you know, removing the multiple H1s, add missing metas, adding content to the location pages, etc. The fifth thing you want to do is build out those citations.
Yeah. In terms of layout on the site, is the layout okay on the site, or would there be something more you would recommend? You know, maybe that's going to convert better, or, you know, that's going to convert better, or.
Yeah. So the only thing you want to make sure you do is that if you do these services, this is /services, and then these are /services/ the name of the service. So right now it's not happening like that. You got services, which is your first silo. So
yeah.
So by the way, like, silo means, like, this is where everything's going to fall under for this path, and then that goes to the separate content under that path. Right now your main silo is right here, so if you wanted to keep that, you'd want to just switch the service to this, if that.
Yeah.
Because you don't want your main silo to be there, but then your posts that are supposed to be under it go to a different URL. So you could just do a 301 or whatever you want to do. The good news is that you're so early on this, and it's like a local niche site, so it's not as big of a deal as if you were to spend, like, you know, 75,000 URLs doing 301s, which happens to some people.
Right.
Yeah, so I would do that. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You just want to make sure that it makes sense. Same thing with the locations. If you're going to start building out locations, you got your main locations page, and I would actually change this to locations. You just do a 301, and then the locations underneath it would be, like, you know, the different locations. And since you're already targeting that main location with the homepage, like the Edinburgh, you wouldn't add a location page for that because, like I said, that one page would be cannibalizing the other. So you would just put the ones that isn't mentioned.
Yeah, you didn't want it conflicting.
Right. So I'm not going to put the change the URL structure in there because it's not as big of a deal, but I will make a note. And then also with the optimizations for the main local, that also falls under this stuff with images and the NAP consistency and the intros and all that stuff. Yeah. So the basic on page, I would also work on the internal linking. And I actually did a tutorial on YouTube where I went into this Aloha moving site. They're ranking number 3 for movers, which is their main keyword now.
Yeah, I watched that. That was good.
And I literally spent, like, I think it was 3 hours just only doing internal linking. And then literally the next couple days they went up. So that's how powerful internal linking is.
Yeah, I remember because I remember your voice is burned into my subconscious.
Yeah. The next thing I would do is add the schema markup.
Right.
For local and reviews and, local reviews, about, and contact.
Right.
Also in the optimizing, that also includes the respond to the Google reviews. I would also take out that crawl delay.
Yeah, I never even knew that was there.
That's why it's so important to check out the robots.txt file.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see like people like, oh, my site's not ranking, and then you check out their robots.txt file, and when they did like a site migration from one theme to the other, the web designer forgot to take out the no index. And their whole site's being no index because the web designer forgot to do that, and like they lose thousands of dollars.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So the next thing would be to add content, or well, we already said that, but I mean the pages that don't have any content, you want to put those in there. We'll just put that under the basic on-site optimizations.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the site speed would be important, but well, fill out the missing meta descriptions also. I would switch to SSL.
Yep.
Like I said, there's so many things that we could recommend first, but I'm just trying to give you the ones that are the most important.
Yeah, the most important to get that first.
And then spend some time putting call to actions on main pages. And then in month 2 and stuff, you can start focusing, like I said, on the other channels. You can start looking at the conversion rates. You can start looking at the bounce rates. You know, of course, we can start looking at the AdWords. Tons of stuff like the competitive link building.
Yeah.
You know, getting the social stuff going to get the social signals. Then getting reviews on these other social platforms because Google takes those into consideration. But these are the top things that need to be dialed in first.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, any questions, man? Like, what did you think?
Yeah, good. I'm going to be really busy.
Yeah, and like I said, if you need help with any of this stuff, dude, we can definitely help you.
Yeah, but I was actually thinking that I've got a lot of other projects on as well at this time and working things. So you're probably going to be my savior.
Yeah.
if you've got time.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I'm actually going to end this stream. Hey, by the way, everybody who's in here, thanks for stopping by. I don't know how many people are still in here. I think it was like, let's see, we got 14 now. So yeah, if you guys like this stuff and you want to see more of it, just leave a like and let me know. And I'm going to end it. So thanks for stopping by.